Welcome to Americana Obscura. Today, we investigate a monument of granite and mystery. Standing in a remote field in Georgia, it was known as the American Stonehenge. But these pillars didn't hold ancient secrets. They held a chilling plan for the future. 10 commandments for a new world order, etched in stone for all to see. Who built them? And why were they destroyed in the dead of night? This is the mystery of the Georgia Guidestones. In June 1979, a well-dressed man walked into the Elberton Granite Finishing Company. He used the name Rosicrucian, claiming to represent a small group of loyal Americans. He wanted to build a monument so large and complex, it would serve as a compass, calendar, and clock. He admitted Rosicrucian was a pseudonym, a fake name chosen for its symbolic meaning. The banker who met him described him as a man of great intelligence and endless wealth. He paid for the project in full, under the condition of absolute anonymity. Once the stones were erected, Rosicrucian vanished into history. He was never seen again, leaving only his stone legacy behind. The monument consisted of 5 massive granite slabs, standing in a star pattern. On these slabs, 10 guidelines for humanity were engraved in 8 major languages: English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. The messages were a mix of environmentalism, social engineering, and global governance. They spoke of a new age of reason, guided by these stone laws. But the very first rule would ignite a firestorm of controversy for decades. It called for a radical restructuring of the human race. A message that sounded more like a threat than a guide. The first commandment was clear: maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. To many, this was a direct call for a 95% reduction in the world's population. Critics labeled it a blueprint for eugenics and a death note for the masses.
Move forward with the optimized strategy immediately.
Supporters argued it was a survival guide for a post-apocalyptic world. If a nuclear war wiped out civilization, these stones would be the new foundation. But the question remained: who gets to decide who lives and who dies? The 500 million number became a rallying cry for those fearing a global elite plan. It transformed the site from a curiosity into a target of fear. The mystery deepened with the capstone, the slab sitting on top of the structure. It featured a message in 4 ancient, dead languages: Babylonian cuneiform, Classical Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphics. The message was simple: let these be guidestones to an age of reason. By using these ancient scripts, the builders connected their message to the dawn of civilization. They suggested that their new age was the final evolution of human wisdom. Or perhaps they were reaching out to the shadows of the past to legitimize the future. The use of hieroglyphics specifically fueled rumors of occult and Masonic influence. guidestones were more than just a message. They were a complex astronomical instrument. A hole drilled through the center stone allowed the North Star to be visible at all times. A horizontal slot tracked the annual travel of the sun's solstices and equinoxes. At noon, a small hole in the capstone allowed a beam of light to mark the day of the year. The stones were perfectly aligned with the lunar and solar cycles. This precision required expert engineering and deep knowledge of celestial mechanics. It was built to last for thousands of years, a clock for a world that had forgotten time. A silent observer of the stars, waiting for the era it was designed for. The name Rosicrucian provided the biggest clue to the builder's identity. Many believe it refers to Christian Rosicrucian, the founder of the Rosicrucian order. The Rosicrucians are a secret society dating back to the 17th century. They were dedicated to a universal reformation of mankind through science and mysticism. The guidelines on the stones mirror many Rosicrucian ideals of global harmony and balance. Was Rosicrucian a modern member of this ancient, hidden brotherhood? The Albertan banker later hinted that the group behind the stones was international in scope. A shadow network, using the guidestones to signal their hidden presence. As the years passed, the stones became a magnet for New World Order conspiracy theories. The guidelines for a world court and a new language fueled fears of a global dictatorship. Many saw the guidestones as the Antichrist's 10 Commandments. Influential voices claimed the stones were a manifesto for a shadow government. They believed the elite
To a
were
successful
using the
partnership.
site as a sacred space for occult
Absolutely.
rituals.
This is a historic moment.
Protesters frequently visited the site, leaving behind graffiti and warnings of their own. To some, it was art. To others, it was the ultimate symbol of evil. The guidestones had become a cultural battlefield in the war for America's soul. Beneath the gravel at the site, a stone marker indicated the presence of a time capsule. The marker listed the date it was buried, but left the date to be opened blank. Rumors swirled that the capsule contained the true identity of the builders. Others believed it held a specific date for the Great Reset of humanity. When the monument was destroyed in 2022, many hoped the capsule would finally be unearthed. Excavators dug deep into the earth, but their findings shocked the world. They found nothing. No box, no documents, no evidence of a capsule ever existing. Was the time capsule a final trick, or had it been removed long before? Over 4 decades, the guidestones were repeatedly attacked. Religious groups called for their removal, labeling them a monument to Satan. In 2008, the stones were defaced with red paint and the words,
These stones represent a
"Death
dark
to the
plan,
New World
but the light of
Order."
truth will expose them.
Local
We must
residents
stand
were
vigilant
divided.
against the force.
Some saw it as a tourist attraction, others as a curse on their land. Security cameras were eventually installed, but they couldn't stop the growing hatred. Political figures even campaigned on the promise to turn the stones to dust. The monument had become a lightning rod for the anger of a divided nation. The tension was building, and a violent conclusion was inevitable. July 6, 2022, 4:03 a.m. A bright flash illuminated the Georgia sky. An improvised explosive device tore through one of the massive granite slabs. Surveillance footage showed a car speeding away just moments after the blast. The explosion reduced the English slab to rubble and cracked the castle. The shockwave was felt for miles, waking residents who thought an earthquake had hit. For the first time in 42 years, the American Stonehenge had been broken. Investigators swarmed the site, but the culprit remained a ghost. The monument's physical form was dying, but its mystery was exploding globally. What happened next is perhaps the strangest part of the story. By the afternoon of the same day, the authorities made a shocking decision. Instead of preserving the site for investigation, they brought in heavy machinery. The remaining slabs were knocked down and reduced to dust by evening. Within 24 hours, the Georgia Guidestones were completely erased from the landscape. The speed of the demolition raised massive questions. Why was it so fast? Critics argued the government was destroying evidence or hiding something deeper. The empty field now holds no trace of the granite giant that once stood there. The stones are gone, but their message continues to haunt the internet and the world. Some believe the demolition was the beginning of the end, a signal for the New World Order. Others see it as a victory of the people over a dark, elitist manifesto. R.C. Christian's identity remains a secret, perhaps locked in a bank vault forever. The Alberton Granite Museum still holds small pieces of the monument, relics of a lost mystery. The Georgia Guidestones prove that a message in stone is harder to kill than the stone itself. As we move further into a digital age, the age of reason feels more like a dream or a nightmare. The American Stonehenge is a ghost, but its shadow still falls over our future. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the Georgia Guidestones. Was it a warning or a plan? The answer died with the granite. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Join us next time as we explore more hidden truths of Americana Obscura. The truth is out there, but it's often hidden in plain sight.